And we want to welcome you to our fifth installment of Coach's Corner Big Week here at Mater Dei. We've got testing, but the big thing that happened was last Friday night. Congratulations, big win over the number one team in the nation. You beat the St. John Bosco Braves handily 17-7 in a big defensive struggle.
Yeah, I don't know how handily it was, but I'll tell you what, you and I were in here last week and the hype was building, and I think the game exceeded the hype. I thought our team handled it extremely well, stayed focused on the task at hand, and you know me, I challenged them to the gills, but ultimately what I told them is play for each other, love each other, and we saw it coming, you and I, on sidebars, that it was going to be a defensive struggle. I don't know how many people believe that, but I did, and you know, they teed it up with a big old running back, and we answered with our running backs. And I thought strategically Elijah did a great job with ball placement. We got great protection from the line. You know, you look at it, Wrestler had a couple of big catches. Elijah broke the pocket, got one to Marcus in a key situation, which led to the field goal to take us to 10-7. So, but it was an exciting night, and you know, it's one of those ones where I go, I really want to leave this.
Only 5 penalties, 23 yards.
Yeah.
After the Jay Sarah game where he had double-digit penalties.
Yeah. No, it all those little things was what we were stressing. You know, obviously the biggest, but we didn't say it a lot, was don't beat yourself.
Yeah.
That's a negative, okay? We talked about ball security. We talked about ball placement, be smart with the football, Elijah. We told our defense, try to get us the ball, try to get a turnover. We challenged the special teams to do something. You know, Sammy Fanua comes up with a 60-yard punt that turned the field. You know, sometimes, you know, things happen and you go, all right, it's working.
Yeah.
It's working. And it was so much fun to coach in. Everybody was on task. I mean, Eric Johnson was a genius, making adjustment after adjustment and getting the personnel on and off the field.
So you looked real comfortable, and I know you've gotten so comfortable being uncomfortable that now you look comfortable on TV.
That's a good way of putting it.
You had a smile on your face, and what do you say to Jason Negro? You guys seem to, you know, have a really good working relationship. You're codependent on each other,
Yeah.
and it looked like you guys had a nice conversation. If you can share, we'd love to hear what that conversation was like.
No, in honesty, you know, Jason let it off and said, hey, your kids played a great game. I said, so did yours. You know, tonight, you know, it just went our way. And then my next question, I don't like seeing players get hurt. And the elephant in the room is they lost their quarterback for 24 minutes of the second half. And you know, but I don't want to see that. And I asked him point blank, how's Pierce doing? Because you know, whenever you start to deal with concussions and head injuries, you know, it's part of the game, but it's the worst part of the game. And you know, we talked about that. He felt that he would be, you know, be back around very quickly. And then it was pretty much, you know, I mean, we just kind of looked at each other. We know, you know, you know, it could be up at the Rose Bowl, but that's not where my head goes. My head's on Orange Lutheran right now and homecoming.
Well, speaking of Orange Lutheran, they have traditionally been a very tough foe for the Monarchs.
No, they're well coached. Rod does a great job. It's like, you know, full circle. Rod was there with Jim Kunenow, who I have tremendous respect for. And now Rod's back at the helm, and you can just see it in the coaching. And but it's going to be a great game. They are a good football team. And yeah, am I sitting here going, you know, this is the worst scenario, trap game? Yeah, there's a little bit of me because I like what Mater Dei does for homecoming, but it's also a lot of distractions.
Well, Exhibit A, Jay Sarah. I mean, look, they were right there with you toe-to-toe in that ball game 2 weeks ago, and they gave Santa Margarita fits, and they lost by one in that game. And this league is so bunched from top to bottom. It is fun each and every week to see you guys go at it.
Well, I'm laughing because literally in the post game when I talked to the team, I congratulated some individual players, and that team that showed up at J. Sarah, hopefully that team doesn't exist anymore. This team is the one I want to coach.
You know, they're mature beyond their years for a young team,
Yeah.
and I think they see the big prize. And this is a team that, at least in my mind, when I go out to practice, it's not like you're really having to get on them. There's a lot of self-scouting, a lot of camaraderie, and a lot of players, because the difference between 1 and 4 on your depth chart is de minimis.
Yeah.
There is such a small margin, and everybody rallies for self-improvement and that Kaizen, get better every day mentality.
I said this to the press, and I would say it to our loyal audience here. We're a young football team. Well, we grew up in that game. That's no longer an issue. You know, we matured in that football game. You know, look at the penalties and things like that, and the pressure that they were under. So now it's kind of fun because you launch into this second phase where, you know, you're exactly right. Yesterday we had a really good practice, and we got to get back out there in a couple of hours, and we've got to be really good putting it together on a Wednesday. So, you know, but it's exactly where we want to be. Not the number one ranking, yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but we're 2-0 in Trinity League, and now we control our destiny.
Yeah. And just a reminder, Coach's Corner is brought to you each and every week by Hook or Crook, Great Field Reserve Cab, and our good friends at Bear Dynasty Paint, official sponsors here of the Modern Day Coach's Corner. And when we come back, we will have Andre Medina, the place kicker, field goal kicker extraordinaire, and Lucas Campitza on the defensive side, coming right up on the other side. And we want to welcome you back to our players segment of the Coach's Corner. Kevin Turner, joined with two outstanding modern-day Monarchs. To my left is Andre Medina, the place kicker, number 97, number 44, inside middle linebacker Lucas Campitza. Gentlemen, first of all, congratulations on a big win on Friday night. So we've got, I'm going to go to you, Lucas, first. So you're a sophomore, you're playing, you know, on the varsity. Expectations when you came in here, did you believe that you were going to be a starting inside middle linebacker as a sophomore?
So, well, I mean, you got to believe what you like. You got to dream what you want to believe, and it was my dream, and I worked hard and I made it happen. So you're both, you guys are really good students, and Andre, you're at a 4.7 GPA. How are you guys able to manage the workload with the academics and all the demands that are placed upon a Monarch football player? I'll start with you first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's all about having a balance, and just whenever you have time, you just got to use your time wisely. And I've been blessed with awesome teachers throughout my years here, and they definitely put me in a place to succeed.
So this is your first year as a three-striper. You're a senior. You came over from the soccer field. Mm-hmm. Talk about that transition going from soccer to big-time, nationally ranked modern-day football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a big transition, and I've been enjoying it so far and trying to cherish every moment since it's my only season here.
So you've had great success. You hit the game winner against the number 5 ranked team in the country on the road, Bishop Gorman. And then had it not been for Jordan Davison, you know, putting the the moneymaker in the bank at the very end of the game, you would have had the game winner against St. John Bosco. A lot of pressure. And I will ask you, Lucas, you know, 10,000 people in the stands hanging off the rafters. What was that like in that experience?
You know, when there's that many people and you're actually on the field, it's not even that like scary, because you're so focused on the game and how big it is. It's not, you don't even feel the fans.
Well, as it should be. And for you as the place kicker, are you able to lock it out and just have tunnel vision?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely just tuning everyone out. And I mean, I pray before every single game just to God to just give me the confidence and the calmness when I'm on the field, and He was with me.
So you guys just coming off a huge emotional win. How do you guys, and I'll start with you, Lucas, how do you reset and get ready for Orange Lutheran, especially during homecoming week?
So you just have to cut out all distractions, put that put that game behind you. It's in the past, and you got to focus on next week. Take it day by day, every practice.
Andre, it might come down to a kick down the stretch here, and how do you focus not only physically but mentally? How do you take those mental reps during the game?
Yeah, so I think you just got to be confident in yourself and treat it like a practice kick.
Talk about the battery, your long snapper and your holder. That's a big part of your success, and kind of share with the fans what that relationship's like.
Oh yeah, so I'm with those guys every single day, and Gavin Powers, my snapper, and Isley Gutierrez, my holder. I mean, we have a great relationship off the field as well, and of course that translates to the field, and we've been practicing throughout the whole summer, and we definitely built that relationship and got the timing, got everything down.
Well, it looks like a lot of that hard work is definitely paying off. And Lucas, what's that competitive set like in the linebacker room and the defensive room and working with Eric Johnson? How have you guys bonded as Monarchs through this season?
Yeah, I think it's coming together like perfectly at this point. Like we all know what each other are thinking, and we're just brotherhood. We just work together.
Pretty amazing that you held, the number one team in the country to just one touchdown.
Yeah, you played great that game. That was probably our best game so far.
So I'll ask you, as we close out here, keys to victory over Orange Lutheran.
So they pass a lot, so we have to drop into our zone. We got to have great coverage, and we have to have a great pass rush because their O-line coach is pretty good, so they're going to be coached pretty well.
All right, guys, thanks a lot for stopping by. Continued success to both of you, and good luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll wrap it up with a coach. And welcome back to our final segment of the Coach's Corner. Always great to visit with your players. And Andre Medina, what a special young man, along with Lucas. And Andre's got a 4.7 GPA.
No, it's, we say it, and I know you probably don't believe it, but he is a 4.7, and Lucas is should be the future. You know me with my tradition of inside linebackers, where our hope is Lucas will, uphold that tradition. That's his responsibility. But, homecoming is special. We got to defend the stripes. We've got to represent the players of the past. And we've got to take care of business Friday night, Kevin. That's all there is to it.
Just real quick, I saw the Instagram post yesterday. You had some dignitaries from Washington, D.C. Chip Kelly was here saying, Rollinson, what's going on? I'm out here, and you've got half of the congressional caucus here on your football field watching football practice.
5 congressmen showed up to watch the Monarchs, led by my good friend, Congressman Steve Wormack from Arkansas. And I thought it was only him coming, and the Suburbans pull up, and the doors open up, and 4 more congressmen show up. Check our Instagram page for some wonderful pictures of a wonderful experience. I'll tell you, Kev, they talked to the team and they knocked it out of the park. Only a few of them would understand 5. Okay, that's rare. But what I liked was they listened, and these guys, they represent the country. And as they said in their message, you represent your high school. We're going to try to do the best we can to guide our country. You do the best you can. But their ultimate message was, don't ever take anything for granted. Take an opportunity every day to do something special.
What a wonderful message, and a great way to get homecoming week kicked off. Yep. And just lastly, before we break, just keys to victory against Olu.
So we got to get a pass rush. We got to lock it down on the back end. And then over on the other side of the ball, they do a lot of stuff on the defensive side of the ball. We have to get it under control and count on the front 5 to do what they do.
All right, Coach, take us out. Homecoming week 2022.
Homecoming, be there. Rock and roll, baby. I'll see you Friday night.
All right, for the coach, I'm Kevin Turner. We'll see you next week.